Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. There's kind of a lot going on in this video. It's hard to know where to start with something, but I do want to say first and foremost a big thank you to my friend Dale for being such a good sport and entertaining me and my skit idea in last week's video. We have had a lot going on in the past couple of weeks. Like I said, it's hard to know where to start, so maybe I will just start things off here at our off-grid property where we spent the past weekend opening things up for the season. A lot of different tasks are involved in this initial phase. Filling the water tank is one of them with the water pump, but the pump wouldn't start the first night, so we had to fix the carburetor to get that running.
That jet is blue.
How was your trip to Japan?
Good, really enjoyed myself. Got all the projects done. Japan was good. Everybody's so polite. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
What's it like to be back here?
Lots of stuff to do here. Doesn't end the projects.
But we have fun.
Mm-hmm. I got the pump going today. Clean the carburetor. So it's working, filling the tank.
We hook up the propane hot water heater. In this case, this time out there, we needed to fix a leaking faucet as well. But let's not actually forget one of the biggest jobs out there, which is the yard work, the weed work. Welcome to the jungle. There was a time when this was all just like nice pea gravel. When we first bought that land, it was bare. In 2013, we had it excavated to create the roads, the parking space, the cabin location, and the pathways down to the lake. And for the first few years, it maintained itself and looked pretty amazing with the natural pea gravel that was there as a base. But naturally, each year the weeds started to come in, and for the first few years it was manageable to pull them by hand. Then came the whippersnipper or the weed whacker, and I was able to manage it doing that way. But the last couple of years, that has just become unmanageable and so time consuming. Last year, kind of at the end of the year, we bought this ride-on lawnmower, and let me tell you, it's packaged up days worth of work into a mere couple of hours. And then I just take the whippersnipper and do all the areas that the mower doesn't reach. And wow, it's been such a game changer. We now mow the weeds down to make it look like grass. Track came off. I feel like we're getting pretty good at it now, but still a pain.
I have the camera. Smile.
And you guys wouldn't believe, I woke up Sunday morning to the sound of critters in the walls upstairs. I was like crushed. First I thought it was birds, but then I thought there's no way birds can build nests in there. We've had a pack rat issue in the past, so I just instantly thought about a pack rat. And when I looked out the window, I saw poop, and it looked too small to be that of a rat. And okay, so maybe it's mice. Mice have to be living in there, but why are the mice and the rats getting up onto the roof? I just couldn't figure it out. Anyway, I needed to take a look, and I started taking the siding off. Long story short, did I ever breathe a big sigh of relief because I saw 2 bats fly out. There are bats living underneath the siding, and they can stay because they're not destructive and they eat the bugs. Hear them. Does bat poop look like mouse poop? That is the question. You can hear. All in all, it was a successful weekend full of work and just enjoying the beauty and magic of that place out there. About a week ago, I noticed that the water pressure in the house had got really low. There was an electrical error code flashing on the pump controller in the basement. So Steve and I tried to do a little bit of investigating, trying to figure out maybe what was wrong. Initially, we sort of suspected that it might be the cable running from the house to the pump. But we spoke to someone, and it seems more than likely at this point that it's actually the pump that has failed. If anyone remembers, 2 years ago, we had this exact same pump fail, or at least we thought it was. It was the line above the pump that broke. So it's more than likely that that incident 2 years ago caused stress on the pump, which caused it to prematurely fail. So a bit of a drag, but thankfully we do have 2 wells and we do have water. We're running off of the backup well. So it's okay, but just still another kind of problem to deal with. Before I can start ripping more lumber out of Mission Milling Inc., girls gotta do some cleanup. So there are like a lot of messes around here, and I can't really clean up one until I clean up another. So I'm in here reorganizing and being a little bit ruthless with my scraps, and I think I'm just gonna burn a lot of it. I suppose I could post it for free online, but then I still gotta take it way up to the road and, you know, trying to pick my battles. I'm trying to be realistic about what's usable and what's not. Not gonna lie, my body is a little bit sore right now and I can't really figure out why. It's certainly not because I'm getting older. No, say it isn't so. Any ideas? So I have this big lumber storage shed, and it's not a great use of space vertically, because if I want to get to something on the bottom, I gotta take everything off the top. So I'm trying to think of a way that I can build a rack or something inside of it. Some way to use the space in the vertical way better than what I'm doing. So let me know if y'all have any suggestions. I can't get over how heavy this hemlock is. Oh my god. I don't even think I can lift this anymore. Oh my lord. It's too heavy. I know what to do. Cut it. Say you love me. 1, 2. Hello. I'm running out of work clothes. My green jacket, the green jacket that I've been wearing, that Arc'teryx one, the zipper won't work. It's funny because if anyone remembers in the wintertime, I was having problems with that purple jacket that I got at the thrift store. The zipper wouldn't work, and I was raving about the plastic zipper of the green jacket. And the green jacket zipper now officially won't work. I've tried closing the zipper pull and it still won't work. It just keeps ripping open. So I think I have to get rid of that jacket. Anyway, every time I put this jacket on, this is like a vintage flannel or a vintage like plaid jacket from the 70s. It was my mom's. I freaking love this thing. I actually had put snaps on it. It had buttons, and I think buttons are stupid. So I put snaps on it. But every time I put it on, and every time I put these Blundstone steel-toed boots on, I'm reminded of Clyde. When we first got Clyde, he'd never lived in a house, and he was so anxious to be in the house that he lived in the mudroom for a month and a half because he wouldn't leave there hardly. But the first time I let him be in that room without being in the crate, he chewed these boots. They were brand new, expensive steel-toed Blundstones, and he chewed this jacket and he ripped some other things apart while I was in the shower for like 20 minutes. And I remember just being so disappointed, but I had loved him so dearly already that it's not his fault. It's my fault. I shouldn't have left those things in there. But anyway, I'm always reminded every time I'm wearing these, and you guys can think of Clyde too. We see these chewed up boots. Anyway, I think I gotta get some new work clothes. All right, so it's time to tackle those logs. I've just been looking at the pile trying to figure out what I've got for dimensions. I need a couple beams along with the joists, so trying to figure out what I'm going to use for what. I need to rearrange some things down at the mill and just kind of finish cleaning up around the mill. My slab rack is full, so I need to buck that up, and that's firewood, so I'll deal with that today too because I can't really mill anymore. I don't have anywhere to put my slabs. I wanted to move these logs out of the way so that the Bobcat has more space to maneuver, bringing logs in and taking material away. So I kind of just picked a spot, probably temporarily for now, just to get them out of the way. I brought that pallet thing that I made. It was kind of over by that burn pile. Brought it over here because, as you can see, my slab rack is full. It's looking a little bit better. Still have that little area to deal with, but getting there. See how this goes. My first time using it, really, other than just loading it. My chainsaw is running really crappy, so it's stalled, so I'm going to load whatever I've got now and then finish this. Like, seriously, this is so heavy. This weighs like 10 pounds, at least 15 pounds, this one slab. This is from that big heavy hemlock that, I can't believe how heavy that log was. Tried to think of a way to most efficiently do this, but 6 of one, half a dozen the other. Number one, disaster number one is the deck, obviously. We've established that, I think. Number two, I guess, would be the well pump. And number three, the worst of them all, is Steve's back. So Steve has severe spinal stenosis, which, rewinding 3 years ago, Steve had this exact same condition, had all the things in line to have surgery done in the United States, and then the pain started to go away. So he opted out of surgery. There was always a chance that it would come back, and it has. It sort of started in Switzerland when we were skiing, and then it just got progressively worse. In Japan, it got really bad. And over the last 2 weeks that he's been home, it's just progressively gotten worse and worse, to the point that he contacted the surgeon again, and he is now having surgery in the next week. So all of that, so that whole thing with his back has been kind of threaded throughout the last 2 to 3 weeks of, that's, partially why he's not been helping, also because he's back at work, but he's no longer able to even work. I mean, bless his little heart, because he is so stoic, trying to keep helping when he can, doing what he can. But anyway, so surgery is happening for Steve this week in the United States. And I think I'll save the reason why it's in the United States and not in Canada for maybe the next video. Another video, I'll touch base on that. I just don't want to drag this out. It was pretty rough there for a couple days. We actually almost called the ambulance for pain management, his pain was out of control. Anyway, I did have him down in Emerge to get some pain medicine and some workup done preoperatively for the surgeon in the United States. And I was worried there for a bit, but I always come back to, I know we're going to be okay if Steve still has his sense of humor through all of this. And he does. So I dropped him off at the emergency at the front entrance so he didn't have to walk far. And I pulled around to go get a parking spot and then walked back to the hospital. And as I was walking into the emergency room, Steve's sitting there in the waiting area.
Yeah, so I was down in the waiting room waiting to be seen by a doctor because of my back pain. And then not many people in the room. And then I saw this girl come in just from behind, and she looked pretty good, looked pretty hot, and so I just stood up, puffed out my chest, and then turned around. Cripes, it's Michelle, my wife.
Stuck with the wife.
Yeah.
He's actually on a lot of morphine and Percocet to be able to look that good. It's been kind of a difficult thing to watch him be in so much pain, hobbling around, trying to help and do the things that we normally do. Sometimes he's been crawling. It's been that bad, crawling to get from A to B. But anyways, so we are headed to the United States for this next week for back surgery for Steve. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, 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 oh.